Hello everybody, so Monkey here back again with Steins Gate. We're on episode 2 now. First one, very, very interesting. A lot of things going through my mind in regards to time travel, and it's never a good. I'm saying it's never a good subject, like in a more in a positive way, because it's very convoluted and it's tough to fucking. It's sometimes tough to wrap your head around. But it's going to be fun. I'm sure it is. It's going to be fun to theorize and discuss this. So, yeah, I don't have anything to say other than I just want to get in episode 2 and see if I can figure out a little bit more as to what's happening here. But I seem to think that the phone is obviously the device that's doing it. I feel like there is something along like the lines of he has a certain key or he has to activate it to mark the time. And then the second activation sends him back to the first, like to that mark. Obviously, he did it before. He did it before he put the bananas in the microwave and whatnot. So, I'm wondering if at some point he's going to get back to that point. We'll see. But yeah, we're going to get straight in episode 2. So let's go.
What are you doing?
How? You're alive! Are you a zombie?
I'm about to scream bloody murder here in a second, mister.
Feel free to slap him if he gets too grabby.
You were skewered like a pig! I saw it plain as day! Not more than 3 hours ago during Dr. Nakabachi's lecture!
It was only 3 hours ago?
We've been over this. The doctor's lecture never happened, remember?
You are sick.
Far from it. I am Hoin Kioma!
First off, thanks for coming today. I appreciate it. It's only fair to warn you, I'm really not all that accustomed to speaking publicly, so you'll have to strap in and bear with me a little bit.
Wow, she's cutting her teeth on us?
Coincidence, surely.
Personally, my assertion is that they're no more real than the boogeyman. Tantalizing to consider, perhaps, but framed objectively, something any serious physicist simply outgrows.
Objection!
I'm sorry?
No more real than a boogeyman. Ha! Your evidence, skeptic, please.
I hope no one saw me come in with you.
Well-established theoretical foundations in virtually every branch of physics argues against the idea I'm not a lone nut.
Pray continue.
All right then, fine. You're so keen, let's do this open forum.
Infuriating.
Safe to say, string theory doesn't jibe with the notion of bouncing around through time in a blue police box, however charming that sounds. Any argument from
Doctor
you,
Who reference there.
So concludes my reasoning with regard to the quantum view. Unless, of course, the gentleman would like to point out something I missed. Feel free to jump in, sir.
Why must she be so damnably articulate?
More to go! You can do it! 10! And the great Ruka is victorious! Oh, hey, Okarin's here! Do-do-do!
Oh, Okabe.
Well, you might say I wasn't expecting the shrine to give us so much corny goodness.
Father received them as a gift, but we can't eat enough to keep it from going to waste.
Works out for us. Your donation to the lab is most appreciated. No doubt it'll give member morale a little boost.
Really? You're not just saying that, are you?
Don't you think
She's
Ruka's
cute.
sword practice is starting to pay off?
Thank you.
Demonstrate an exorcism.
Well, sure, I guess. Except I don't really perform them all by myself.
A malign spirit has taken possession of my right hand, Ruka! Banish it before I'm forced to do something unseemly!
Be right back.
That spirit sure likes messing with you while you're here.
Urishibara Ruka. Delicate as an orchid, fair as a cherry blossom. The personification of feminine grace. And a dude.
What?
Tall, a dude. Radiant in shrine vestments. Dude.
I just called that. I just called
Sun
that dude
dips
cute.
low in a rosy
Great.
sky.
Aw,
Don't tell me they blocked this off.
they had to. It leads to the back of the radio building.
Guess that makes sense.
It's a late shift today, so I'll probably just head on home after I get out.
Hey! You, really don't remember hearing that scream this morning?
What? Where?
The stairwell of the radio building.
That'd be the kind of thing to stick out.
You'd think so, yeah.
Hey, you guys!
Oh, the goodies now.
Sorry,
Like
that's
sloth?
how all the cool kids are saying. What's up
Hey,
these
you
days?
I'm guessing
guys.
she's not here to shop.
You stay out of this. Give me a name.
Amane Suzaha.
Your age.
18.
Reason for applying.
Serious CRT buff.
You're hired.
Nice bit of Be warned, girl. Many a passing acquaintance of mine has been hounded by the organization. Sarah, dear Claudia, innocent Simone.
That's so tragic. Well, I don't frighten easily, mister.
Please don't encourage the guy. He's whacked enough as it is.
Yeah?
Ah, just keep telling yourself that, cue ball. One day the world shall tremble beneath my feet.
Oh man.
So, evil laughs are trendy.
The crash was right around noon. Then that corroborates Daru and Mayuri. What do we have here?
CERN maintains a strict monopoly on the time machine market. Civilians and corporations alike are banned from acquiring one. I'm here to reroute the past for the sake of your future. I've come to take down CERN and thwart the dystopian mess they've created in my own time.
Aren't you worried that by being here, you run the risk of creating a paradox?
Ah, the so-called grandfather paradox. It doesn't exist. It's possible to meet your past self. You'll simply change world lines if you do. You have to let go of this idea of time as a single line moving from past to future. It's actually comprised of infinite lines all running parallel. We call these world lines. Let's say, for example, someone murdered you. By traveling back in time to prevent it, I create two divergent worlds. One where you're killed, one where you're not.
Yeah.
Come on, stop giving me dead links. It's annoying. Damn it, why'd you have to nix all your files on the SOB? A dozen results? No way. 10 years ago, every chode with a .com address was on top of this thing. Impossible. No, this is wrong. I had books about him on the shelf. I'm certain I did. Daru, it's me.
This better be good, dude. I'm with Ferris.
Where'd you move my books?
I'm sorry?
The ones I had on John Teeter, man.
Who the hell is John Teeter? Dude?
Doesn't exist.
I have a question for you, Teeter. About 10 years ago. The year 2000, in other words.
That's an interesting topic you bring up. Unfortunately, however, I've never visited the year 2000, nor do I have any plans to.
Huh?
Excuse me? What in the... Whoa. Not so fast. That is to say, hold the phone just a moment, please. Or rather, delete the pictures you just took of me from your phone for your own safety.
I'm sorry. Apparently I've offended you in some way.
What were you taking pictures of?
Evidence. Evidence I was here. I mean, of the stuff I've seen. Can I show you something?
Sure.
This.
Quite the dinosaur you've got there, miss.
You're an expert?
Sorry.
Do you know anyone who is?
I'll give you my contact info.
What name should I type?
Can't you read? It says Hoy and Kilma right there.
Welcome home, MEOWSTER! We've been waiting for you. Oh, I didn't know it was you. Well, then welcome home, MEOWSTER Ocarine. Kilma! What happened to your solemn oath to darken our doorway every 3 days, you big goofy Frankenstein? You poor thing! What have they done now? Tell me you've got a plan. Whatever it is, you know we've got your back.
In good time. I'll take my usual stealth field, thank you.
Hang on now. When are you gonna let me join?
Ferris, I cannot let you fight my battles in good conscience.
Oh my god.
Not even when I've mastered my super secret special move?
Here, have a look at this.
Whoa. That's your classic IBM 5100.
Is that a big deal?
Dude, it's not just retro, it's like the rarest of the rare. About a month ago, word through the grapevine had one floating around here somewhere.
Speak of the devil. It would appear this Curio Moeka is a woman on a bit of a mission. Oh joy, the plot thickens. She's a freeder, whatever that is. Analysis. The gel nanas, hitherto for so to be named, have been ripped asunder at the molecular level.
They're basically mutant bananas, you mean?
I think you'll agree the only conceivable explanation at this stage is some sort of uncommonly intense EM wave. Superlative! Let us then commence.
You really want to use these? Hey, but I think one's more than enough.
Just note, while I was willing to up the ante, you remain a one-banana cautious Carl. Phone Wave real name TBA happens to be a clever ruse to throw the organization off our scent.
Well, you're the only idiot here who thinks they're sniffing.
Oh, is that a fact?
It's gone. What?
What is it?
It's gone! Look!
Look, either you palmed it or we have a teleporter on our hands.
Oh,
Open your eyes. How else does an ordinary banana go from...
It did touch, but it's still, but it's... How the hell?
the hell?
That's funny.
He just said the exact same thing. What?
The rest of them.
Interesting experiment you've got going on there, Okabe Rintaruk.
What's she doing there?
I'm sorry, is it Hoin Kioma?
Makise. Kurisu.
Damn. Well, he didn't use the phone before when they were all together, right? So that puts my theory out the window that he can mark the time and then go back to that time. Damn, this is gonna get really fucking hard. It's gonna get hard to think because they didn't go back in time. They sent the banana back. How would that work? How do you send something back to attach itself to what it was once attached to, except in a different state? Or is like the sort of rotting, like, green nature of the banana, like, is that supposed to symbolize the idea that is that supposed to mirror John Tita's idea of like two separate lines, like two different timelines? So like essentially it doesn't revert things back in time. It just creates a separate one, in which case the separate one kind of, you know what I mean? It's not like it reverts back to the same state. It just makes a new one with a different state. Is that what it's supposed to mean? Oh, fucking Christ. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, from the very top. So apparently, from the start of the episode, the doctor's lecture that he was at, where all of this went down, was apparently only 3 hours ago. Yet, according to Itaru, it was 5 days ago. And Kirisu didn't recognize Kioma, at least she didn't seem to. Is that two Kirisus roaming in the same thing. Because John Titor said, you can meet yourself, but then the world lens would change. I don't know what he means by that. The world lens. What if you meet yourself, the world lens would change? What if you meet yourself, one of you dies? Is that what it is? If you meet yourself, then that. So if there is two Kirisus, then that means that the one who was in his apartment at the end of the episode is the one that knows who he is from before. And the one at the beginning of the episode is just the average, like, Kirisu that never met him. That's possible, I guess. Huh. God, this is tough. Yeah, that Ruka is a dude. called him cute as well. Great. God damn it. Why would a dude be wearing that getup? Come on. And I thought that was only a job for females. I'm sure that job in Japan is only for females. I'm sure it is. I heard that somewhere. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I heard that. So there's something called the organization that Kiyoma likes to bring up. And maybe it's all just been nonsense up until this point, but you might actually be right in the end. When I mentioned in the last episode about something bigger at play, that's probably what it's going to be. Speaking of John Titor, he said something about CERN taking over the, like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something about he needed to come. Did he say he needed to come back in time to sort it out so that it wouldn't become like a big mass fucking superpower type of organization type thing? But the interesting thing is apparently that he never existed in this timeline. Jesus. You know why it's so, like, almost, like... Do you know how it's almost impossible to even, like, to start theorizing about this? And the reason why I'm so, like... I'm so worried about the idea of like getting lost in like the discussion of this series is because of the nature of time travel and how, because there are so many different timelines, you could literally be on it forever and just be like, oh well, in this timeline this is how this happened and in this timeline just didn't. So if John Titor never existed, then it's safe to say that he was killed off before he even made all of these things about time travel and whatnot. But the interesting thing about this type of time travel is that it doesn't affect other people, or it doesn't affect Kiyoma. So Kiyoma remembers everything previously that he did about John Titor, but nobody else does. But John Titor never existed, so... So if, I don't know, if this is about this satellite thing that dropped out of the sky, right? It only affected some people. And only those people are able to determine things that have happened that apparently don't exist anymore. So... you know, the only people that would know John Titor ever existed would be Kyoma, Kirisu, possibly, Moeka, probably, maybe some other people, but like, it's just strange because normally if you are looking at the perspective of one person, right, if we were looking at like Kyoma, right, for example, the idea of time travel would be that if he went back in time, only he would know that he went back and changed stuff. Everybody else would feel like nothing changed and things just happened and that's what happened. But Kyoma would be the only one that realized that happened. It seems like in this world, like in this show, if he went back to change something, other people would know as well, and other people would be affected by it, which is strange. And it also opens it up for even more confusion. Oh no, I'm dreading it. But yeah, so yeah, this new character that was like she has an interest in her phone as well. Just it seems like she's almost suffering from this idea that she's like darting around time almost. Or like the idea that she's like taking pictures of stuff so she has a memory that it actually happened. So maybe something happened with her where she was for sure something happened, but everyone else saying it's like says that it didn't. So now she's doing it because she's paranoid. And there's something with that like old computer thing that she has on her phone. That image, and I don't know what significance that'll have on the story, but fuck me, it's interesting, it's confusing, and I love it. Yeah, it's gonna be much fucking harder to like. This one is gonna be tough to fucking to discuss and theorize. And like, you know what I mean? Like, all of the questions can be there, and all the details can be there, but it's going to be tough to like zone in on the what is correct. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard to theorize this one, just because the amount of different like things that could happen. Because with time travel, literally everything goes out the window. Like you can just like all of a sudden like nothing is impossible, so anything could happen, which makes it tough to it's just gonna be hard. Anyway, yeah, right, so that is it for this week of Steins Gate. We'll pick this up next Monday. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.